Hi guys, in this video today I want to show you all about the transit app that you can use to find out the bus, the subway, and the streetcar schedule. And for those of you who have used the Rocketman app before, I'm not sure if you heard, but really bad news. Unfortunately, it's no more. As per November 17th or 18th, it has been officially shut down. But anyways, life goes on. So let's just first get rid of the Rocketman app here. And now that that's done, let's first download the transit app. And you can get it from Google Play or from the Apple Store. So let's get into it. How to use the transit app, and is it any good? So let's just say that you live in Toronto like I do and you want to go to the mall. Let's say Scarborough Town Centre. So in the search box, you simply input Scarborough Town Centre. If you've turned location services on, meaning that the app can detect where you are at the moment, you can just leave current location in the first box and input Scarborough Town Centre down below in the destination box. So then the transit app will give you a list of all your possible connections. Not all actually, but we'll get to that in a second. And one important note, you can do this with Google Maps also, by the way, is you can set the date and time when you want to leave. For example, leave now. Or alternatively, you can also pick leave at. If you want to leave at a certain time, let's say that you want to leave on, let's just pick another date, Monday, November 28th, and you want to leave at 10 a.m. So then the transit app will show you all the schedules leaving at 10 a.m. from your location to Scarborough Town Centre. But what's also very useful is, especially if you have an appointment, is that you can also pick the option arrive by. And let's just say that you have an appointment on Monday, November 28th at 11 a.m. So you input that and the transit app will show you when you will need to depart and the different connections if you want to arrive there on time. So it does the calculation for you in reverse, and that way you reduce the chances of being late to an important appointment or an interview. So let's just return to the first option, which is leave now, and look at the different connections just as an example. So here the first connection is using the bus number 80 and it says go in 19 minutes. By the way guys, if you found this video useful so far, then I would really appreciate it if you would hit the like button. That would help me to get this video out to more people who need it. So here transit app shows you 3 connections, but actually if you scroll down a bit, you'll see this little icon that says find more trips. But this is, guys, where it gets a bit annoying, because if you want to have more options, if you want to see more connections, then you will need to upgrade to a paid version, and we don't really want that, do we? Honestly, I'm not sure if that would be worth it, but let's check it out. Let's see what you can get for the paid version. So you can get access to more transit lines, more departure lines, more trips, go celebrity status, custom themes, more location icons, and this fund would cost you $4.99 per month or $24.99 if you get the annual subscription. So personally, I'll pass. But anyways, if you really want the subscription and you find that you really need these additional features, then go ahead and sign up. And luckily, Transit app is kind enough to offer another option for people who cannot afford the subscription. So here they say, for users that truly cannot pay, we're offering a limited number of free subscriptions. Just send us an email and ask. Moreover, core features of Transit will always be free, so you know when your next ride is coming. So in essence, you do not need the subscription. You'll be fine just using the free version. So let's get back to the connections and how to read them. Let's just look at the first connection here. So the first connection says that you need to go in 18 minutes. And if you click on that, it will show you the map. So it shows you that from your location, you would need to walk to bus number 80. You would take bus number 80 to the east and then switch to subway line number 2, which is this green line here. And I know if you're new here in Toronto, it might be a bit confusing because you don't really know which are buses, which are subways, streetcars, and so on. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Then you would need to switch to this blue line, which is subway number 3. And now guys, let's look at the details of this connection. So for this connection, you can see that you need to take the bus and then switch to a subway and then to another subway. And to know exactly where you need to get on the bus, on the subway, and off of it, you can expand each of these to see the details. So here, for example, we have bus number 80. It says east to Keele Station. This is very important. Don't take the wrong bus. You need to take the bus that goes east and not west. So east towards Keele Station. And in case you haven't noticed yet, usually on the bus display in front on top of the bus, you can see that they indicate which direction the bus goes. So for example, it would say bus number 80 to Keele Station or bus number 80 to, I don't know, Sherway or whatever. So here, for example, it says 9 19 stops before you arrive at your destination where you need to transit. So if you click on that, you can expand it and see all the stops that you will need to pass by. So here you can see that the last stop listed here is Kiel Station. So that means that you will need to get off at Kiel Station. And now the question is where to go next. So you see this icon of a person here, and next to it, it says 1 minute. Whenever you see this, it basically means that you need to walk on foot for 1 minute to get to your next connection. So from bus number 80, you basically walk over to subway number 2 at Kiel Station. And it happens to be that at Kiel Station, there is both the subway and also a number of buses. So you basically just need to move from the bus and walk downstairs to the subway. But it's not always the case. There are, of course, plenty of bus stops which are not directly connected to a subway station and where you will need to walk a bit or even cross the street. So your next connection will be subway number 2 from Kiel Station. And here it says that you will have 22 stops to go. And again, you can click on this to take a look at all the stops that you will need to pass by. And again, on the list here, you can see the last stop listed here, which is Kennedy, which means that you need to get off at Kennedy subway station. And again, you'll get off here and you'll see this icon with the person here that says 2 minutes, which means that it takes you approximately 2 minutes to walk over to your next connection, which is subway line number 3, indicated by the blue line. And from here, you only have 4 more stations to go until you get to Scarborough Center. So this here at the very bottom is quite a nice touch. So the transit app doesn't only tell you to get off at the subway station, but it also tells you the final steps you need to make to get to your destination, to Scarborough Town Center, for example. So here it says, take the stairs, follow signs for Scarborough Center Go Bus Terminal. So you can just look around for signages and follow that direction. And then when you get there, you need to walk for another 3 minutes. And in any case, if you're confused in which direction you need to go, you can always go back to the map and check it out there. So let's go back to the main page that shows you all of your options. So beside that option just now, bus, subway, you also have other options, for example, using the GO train. And you might think that taking the GO train is always faster, but that's not necessarily the case, because subway trains and buses run much more frequently than GO trains. In many cases, it will take you less time by taking the subway. So here, for example, using the subway and bus, it will take you 1 hour and 17 minutes, whereas if you use the GO train, according to the schedule, it will take you 1 hour and 40 minutes, which is much longer. But anyway, if for some reason you really want to use the GO train, then you can look at this connection and see when you need to depart. So guys, I have to tell you one great thing that I love about the TTC, although the TTC is really not perfect. The great thing is that the transportation system here in Toronto is rather well connected to the bike lane. So in case you love getting around on your bike, don't worry, you'll be able to easily connect to a bus or a subway train. And the transit app also shows you connections for using your bike. So in this example, you would need to first ride your bike for 2.3 miles to the subway station Royal York. And yes, you can bring your bike on the subway train and also on buses, by the way, although it's a bit more tricky to load your bike on the bus, but I've done it and it's doable even on your own. But anyway, so you load your bike onto the subway train, and then from there again you connect to line number 3. What I also love, and I think Rocketman app didn't have, is that the transit app also shows you Uber connections. So if you're really in a rush and you just don't have time to take the bus or the train, you can simply choose to take an Uber, and the transit app will show you approximately how long it takes to get the next Uber. So here, for example, it shows you that you can get an Uber X in the next 1 minute and that your whole ride would cost you $48 to $52. And I think that it's quite useful that they've integrated the Uber app details into the transit app, so you do not need to switch back and forth between 2 options. But what would be even greater, a message to the developers, by the way, is if they could also include the Lyft app, so that way you can really compare all of your options. And guys, there's also another way to use the transit app. Sometimes you just want to know what kind of transportation is available around you at that moment and what your options are. If you're already familiar with your route, perhaps you just want to know when the next bus arrives. For example, bus number 80. When does bus number 80 arrive? So when you're near the bus stop, simply open your transit app and look at all the modes of transportations that are around you. And here, for example, you can see bus number 66 that will arrive in 13 minutes and bus number 80 that will arrive in 6 minutes but goes west. So again, pay attention to the directions so you don't end up in the wrong place. So in this example, if you're not planning to go west but you want to go east, then usually you would need to just scroll down further on the list until you get to bus number 80 that says east. And guys, the transit app does not only show you your next connection, but it also shows you the other times when the bus arrives. So let's use the example of bus number 80. It shows you that the next bus west to Sherway will arrive in 5 minutes, and then again in 28 minutes and 50 minutes. And then you can click below on more departures, just in case you want to go back into the mall, for example, and then take the bus that comes in 1 hour and 20 minutes. Lastly, there's also a notification feature that they also had on the Rocketman app. So after you've picked a connection, you can have the transit app notify you so that you won't miss your connection. For that, simply click enable notification. So let's say the transit app told you to depart in the next 15 minutes. If you're close to time of departure, the transit app will send you a notification and tell you to hurry up. Also, a great feature, especially if you're new here in Toronto, is that the app can also tell you when you need to get off of the bus so you do not miss your stop. One question that you might have is, so do I need to have internet access to use the transit app? Yes, you do. But what do you do if you do not have any data, but you have a cell phone and you want to know when the next bus arrives? In that case, you can watch this video here all the way to the end, where I tell you about how you can check bus schedules in real time just by sending a text message. I hope this video was useful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.